Another 7 maximum temperature records were broken earlier this week during this intense, prolonged, almost 2-week-long heatwave affecting South Africa. In the Northern Cape, Tweede, the mercury soared to almost 46 degrees, and we even looked at the observations globally, where South Africa topped the chart as the hottest place at this moment across the globe. And this trend will most likely continue into Friday as heatwave conditions will yet again, and thankfully for the last day, bake Gauteng, Limpopo, Mpumalanga, northern KwaZulu-Natal, and into Saturday over northwest as well as the Free State. So we know it's going to be hot. Where is it going to rain? Let's see. The complete opposite over southwestern South Africa, where we currently have a cold front that's bringing nice and cool conditions and light showers for the southwestern regions. More light rain expected on Friday over parts of the western as well as the southern coastline, with scattered showers over the mountainous regions. And then later, a ridging high behind that cold front also bringing in scattered showers and cooler weather for KwaZulu-Natal. And then a few heat-induced thunderstorms yet again possible over northwest Gauteng, Limpopo, and parts of Mpumalanga. Those storms are going to be very patchy, so it's not the widespread rain we are praying for, but we hope a few of those storms might bring some relief here and there. We can see the winds will continue to blow fresh to strong behind that cold front and spreading along the southern coastline on Friday. The Weather Service has issued a level 2 warning for damage and winds possible behind that front between Table Bay as well as Plettenberg Bay. Another coolish day for the Western Cape as this onshore flow brings in more cloud and light rain for parts of the Western Cape as well as over the coastal regions, with windy weather expected over the Strand as well as the Garden Routes and the coastal regions of the Eastern Cape. We've got that warning in place for the possibility of damage and winds and light rain also possible over those regions, with temperatures quite cool in the lower 20s. Cooler weather also moving into the Eastern Cape with a southwesterly wind later blowing strong in East London, and also windy weather later in Kua and Matatiele, with isolated storms expected over the eastern regions. And behind that front, this onshore flow southwesterly wind bringing much cooler conditions and scattered showers for KwaZulu-Natal, but still extremely hot during heatwave conditions over the northern parts. Isolated heat-induced thunderstorms likely over those regions from the afternoon. The mercury soaring to 38 in Newcastle, and it's still boiling hot during heatwave conditions in the Lowveld, with the mercury soaring to 45 in Skukuza. Temperatures also above 40 in almost the entire Limpopo, and it's been this hot, as I've mentioned, for almost 2 weeks now. This is extremely dangerous, so please take care of the vulnerable and stay hydrated. We know it's school holidays, so it's hot out there with temperatures in the upper 30s for northwest. Dusty at times as the wind picks up, with a few isolated storms only likely in the eastern regions. Please, if you go outside, remember to wear sunblock and a hat and loose clothing if possible, but rather try and avoid sunlight. The UV index is extremely high and extremely dangerous, especially over large parts of South Africa during heatwave conditions. The wind picking up a bit in the Northern Cape. The Weather Service warning against runaway fires, and still extremely hot in the Free State during heatwave conditions that will continue into the weekend with 34 in Bloemfontein. It's windy and dusty, and the Weather Service also have a red warning in place for runaway fires for the entire Northwest Free State as well as parts of Gauteng. The mercury soaring to 36 in Pretoria, with a few isolated heat-induced thunderstorms possible here and there. If those storms develop, they could also likely result in small amounts of hail, so please be careful out there if a storm does develop. And then into the weekend, as mentioned, still heatwave conditions baking northwest in the Free State. It's still much cooler in KwaZulu-Natal as well as in Mpumalanga, finally with isolated showers. Also a few degrees cooler in Gauteng, but temperatures still above 30, and then finally below 30 into Sunday in Gauteng, with maximum temperatures over there in the upper 20s, but still in the low 20s for the coast of the Western Cape. A few more light showers likely on Sunday in Cape Town, as well as light rain along the southern coastline, and thunderstorms also moving a little bit more westwards over parts of the Northern Cape and Eastern Cape. Well, that's all from me. Have a lovely Friday.